You don't need more followers. Well, we always want a few more, but what you really need is better Facebook strategies. Hello, hello, my lovelies, and welcome back for this week's podcast episode. So, this is part two of my current series on how to make more money in your direct selling or network marketing business. So, in last week's episode, episode one, we talked about the power of building relationships and how sales are simply the outcome of trust. No, like, and trust. So today we are building on that because once you understand that relationships drive income, the next question becomes, okay, but how do I actually use Facebook properly to build those relationships and grow my sales? And I know that you are asking that question because I hear it all the time, right? This is where I see so many women getting frustrated. They tell me the algorithm hates me, my engagement is terrible, I don't understand the algorithm, no one is seeing my posts, Facebook just doesn't work anymore. Well, I want to say this really lovingly. It's not that Facebook doesn't work. What it is that most women have actually never been taught the right strategies to make it work for your direct selling or network marketing business. It is different, right? If you want to use social media to grow a business, it is different. And you need to know what those differences are and how to be strategic on Facebook for your direct selling business. So today we are going to talk about three things. I think it's three. The difference between posting and strategic posting, the three areas of Facebook that actually impact your income, and what you can adjust immediately to stop missing out on those sales that you want. So first up, let's talk about just posting versus strategic posting, right? Because there is a big difference between being an active person on Facebook and actually being strategic on Facebook in order to grow your direct selling or network marketing business, right? Posting is random, inconsistent, reactive, potentially mostly focused. It's potentially posting way too many times a day. There's so many different things that I see that is just like, just someone being out there hanging out, right? But being strategic about what you're doing on Facebook in order to grow your biz, strategy is intentional, it's planned, it is relationship driven. You are trying to build know, like, and trust, and it is designed to move people closer to making a decision. Right? A lot of women are posting regularly, but they're not positioning themselves as the go-to person in your niche, because let's face it, and some of you I'm sure have listened to my podcast from a few weeks back where I was talking about being the purple cow in a field of dairy cows, because what you've got to remember is that there are hundreds, if not thousands of places out there that your followers, your potential customers could be purchasing either exactly the same as what you offer or something very different, right? So you have got to be the purple cow in a field of dairy cows. You have got to stand out. You've got to be positioning yourself as the go-to person, the person that someone wants to go to when they're ready to make a purchase, book in an event, or even join your team. So what I see a lot of women posting regularly is that they're talking about their products, but not about problems, i.e. the problems that your products can solve. They're sharing offers, but not building know, like, and trust. They're showing up, but not standing out, right? And that goes back into purple cow. And then they wonder why their income isn't growing. The truth is, visibility alone doesn't equal sales, but sharing the right content does. It makes a massive difference to the results that you get when you're trying to use Facebook to grow your direct selling or network marketing business. All right, so second thing, the three Facebook areas that actually impact your income, right? So if you want to make more money using Facebook, there are three key areas that matter most. First one, your profile. Your profile positioning, your personal profile, hopefully in professional mode, is prime real estate. When someone clicks on your name, what do they see? So for instance, if you were to go to my Facebook profile and click on it, you would straight away see what I'm about. Who do I help? What I offer? You know, all of the things about me. You're gonna, there's no doubt, if you go and check out my Facebook profile, you are going to be able to tell from my Facebook cover banner, the information that I have listed, and then also from my posting as well, right? And that's what you want, okay? Because if someone clicks on your name, what do they say? Would they immediately be able to understand who you help, what you're about, and what kind of business you run? Or does it look like a random mix of posts with no clear message? Your profile should be building connection, credibility, and curiosity. It is important not to sell in your posts on your personal profile, even in professional mode. Facebook still doesn't like that very much. And what you're sharing on your profile, it should feel like a warm welcome into your world. And then what you want them to be doing from there is then coming along into your customer Facebook group. Now, your customer group is not just a place to drop catalogs or promotions, right? It is about building know, like, and trust. It's about building those relationships with the women, probably women, might have some male customers as well, that are hanging out inside of your customer Facebook group. It should be nurturing trust. It should be providing value. It should be sparking conversation and making people feel part of something, providing information about how you can help them. And this is where strategy becomes really powerful. So instead of only posting sales graphics, and look, you might not just be doing sales graphics, but are you actually doing these other things that I'm about to talk to you about as well, right? Think about sharing education, right? How does the product work? How is the product going to help them, right? What can they do with it? Sharing stories, behind the scenes, customer wins. There's nothing like sharing customer wins. People love seeing that and makes them feel more reassured to take those next steps with you. And questions that invite engagement as well. This is how you build know, like, and trust with your community. The third thing you need to be doing is looking at your content mix. So the mix of the content that you are putting out on your profile plus inside of your Facebook customer group and on your business page if you have a business page. But as I'm sure you've heard me say before, generally Facebook business pages get the least amount of reach out of anything that you can be doing on Facebook. So your content needs a variety, it needs variety and it needs intention, right? If every post is about your product, people actually tune out. But if your content includes a mix of personal stories, value and tips, maybe something about mindset, again, it's going to depend on your niche, problem solving, i.e. how does your product help them or your opportunities help them, and popping in some offers as well. Absolutely, you need to be popping offers in there. Otherwise, how are people going to know what's on special, what's new, etc., etc. But you really do need to have that mix. And then you create a journey when you have this mix of all the different types of content and people warm up to you over time. You build know, like, and trust with those people. And when you build know, like, and trust, that is when people will buy from you, they will recommend you, they will want to book in with you, and they will want to look at joining your team if those are things that you are offering as well, right? When they're ready to buy, they will think of you first. And that is what you want, all right? Third thing I want to talk to you today about is why strategy creates confidence. Because here's something really important. When you don't have a clear strategy, you end up second guessing yourself constantly. Let me know if this is you. You wonder, should I post this? Is this too salesy? Am I being annoying? Am I being spammy pammy? Nobody wants to be a spammy pammy, do they? But when you understand the structure behind what you're doing, everything feels calmer. You know why you're posting, what the goal of this post is, or this week's worth of content, and how it fits into that bigger picture. And confidence grows. I'm sure if you've been hanging out in my world for a while now, you will have heard me talk about planning your social media content to align with your goals. That's really important. And you see that growth and confidence as women start to, see what it's all about, understand what those right strategies are. And look, to be honest, what I've shared with you today, it is the tip of the iceberg. But I've seen over and over again inside of my Beehive program for women with direct selling or network marketing business, that growth in confidence when they know what the right strategies are. Women who felt invisible on Facebook suddenly start seeing more engagement, more conversations, and more consistent sales. And it's not because they became louder, but because they became more strategic. They came into my Beehive program, they learned all of my strategies, and they put it into action. And those who put it into action the fastest are the ones that saw that turnaround the quickest. And I often get asked, what's the real benefit of coming into your Beehive program? And it is that like a fast track to what are the right things to be doing in your business so you can grow your business faster. Now, relationships from episode 1, that was where I was talking about, how the importance of building relationships. And then today's episode where we're talking about the right strategy. So when you combine what I talked about in last week's episode around relationships and you combine it with what I've talked about today about the right strategies, that's when you're going to see that growth in your direct selling business. You're going to see those extra sales, extra bookings, team members. And of course, that's when your income grows, right? And I'm sure you're all here going, I would love to be earning more income or more consistent income. And that is something that is happening for so many of my Beehive program members, which I just love. I love seeing women winning and feeling more confident about what they're doing, because confidence does come with action, right? We don't acquire confidence and then go out and take action. We kind of need to take action first, and along the way your confidence will grow. Now today I do have a practical action step that you can go and take straight away, and once you've done this, I'd love for you to circle back and actually let me know what you found when you did this. So what I want you to do is go back and look at your last 10 posts. Now you can do this both on your profile and also in your Facebook customer group as well. And the 3 things I want you to ask yourself when you look at these last 10 posts is, are these posts building connection? Are they positioning me as someone with value? Or are they mostly about my product? Okay. And if you notice that it's heavily product focused, that's okay, because awareness is the first step. All right. This is what you need to know, understand what you're getting wrong first, and then you can start making the changes. So then choose one post this week that focuses purely on connection or value. How can you build know, like, and trust with that Facebook post? I want you to start there, because small shifts lead to big changes. And I was going to tell you there's a saying I love about taking action. It's completely gone out of my head. Well, I'll bring it to you another time. So we've talked about relationships, we've talked about strategy, but there is one more piece that ties everything together, and that's your mindset. And as I mentioned at the start of this episode, this was episode 2 in this new little mini episode of 3 episodes. And that's what we will be talking about next week, is mindset. Because you can have the best strategies in the world, but if you don't believe in yourself, you won't actually implement them consistently. consistently. And I'm going to talk about that with you in our next episode next week. I'm going to be talking about how your income will never outgrow your mindset. And this one is really, really powerful. Mindset makes such a massive difference. And it's one of the wonderful things I see with so many of my Beehive program members over the last few, what the Beehive program's been in existence for nearly 5 years. And it is that growth in confidence that I really see, that positive mindset shift that helps them to then put themselves out there more and builds those bigger direct selling and network marketing businesses. And I just love that. Anyway, if today's episode made you realize that maybe it's not Facebook that's the problem, maybe it's the lack of a clear strategy, I do want you to know that you're not alone, because most women in direct selling and network marketing are never actually taught how to use Facebook properly to grow a real business. But when you learn how to combine relationships, strategy, and consistency, everything changes. So make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss part 3 of this series next week. As always, thank you for being here, and remember to share me with your friends. Thanks for listening. Bye.